What up, y'all? Coming at you with another AMA episode. Damn, it's been some fun times, man. We had the locked in challenge, had those people out here, bro. It was probably the worst cast I've ever got out here. What I mean by that, great guys, really funny, good dudes, but the least locked in cast ever. Now, I expect Pow Envy to not be locked in. I expect, Dom the Troll to have some issues, but I got these fans out here, and I was genuinely disappointed to see when we raided their hotel room. You got to go watch the full episode. They had crumble cookie. They had, a bunch of bullshit in there, and that was just sad to see, bro. Honestly, I was like, what? Like, how are you not gonna lock in for 2 days, bro? 2 days of your life, and you got to eat the crumble cookie. It's that mindset it's not gonna serve you well. So we'll see how those dudes are doing in 5 years, bro, because you ain't got discipline, you ain't got anything. So, yeah, that was kind of insane, bro. I'm definitely going to try to get some other people who are actually locked in out here. But, yeah, it's been some good times, I went and got married. That was probably the biggest life achievement in the last, since I've last checked in with you guys. So, yeah, real low-key thing, man, which I'm super stoked on. My girl didn't want to do a giant thing with this and that, and let's spend all our money. No, and that's why I love her. One of the reasons why I love her. And it was really, really cool. It was really fun. So yeah, married now. Next step, have some kids. Man, I feel like people just don't do that nowadays. It's way less common for younger people to get married and have kids. I don't know what it is, man. Some young people hate women. They can't find a woman. I don't know. That's not good. And then people are just I don't want to have kids. I'm like, fuck that, dude. I want to do all that shit. It's hard. It's a lot of work, you know what I mean? But I think it's worth it, and it's something I want to do. So I'm stoked for that, man. And I just hope that someday I can be a good dad. I know my girl will be an amazing mom. So yeah, you got to find the right one. How to do that? I don't know, man. I would definitely focus on yourself first. So we're going to get into some stuff that'll help you focus on yourself, get to a point where, you just attract good. We dropped hella new stuff, dude. So much new stuff since we last checked in. Starfruit, electrolytes. We got the prickly pear electrolytes. Kiwi lemonade is dropping. By the time this airs, the beef tallow honey beeswax should be back in stock. Dude, this product has been ripped off so many times, and I'll tell you the story about this right now. So we launched this product. It's amazing. It sells out. It's beef tallow honey and beeswax for an affordable price. What happens from that is there are these companies that will target companies like ours that have a product that's selling out, and they will make a knockoff version. You can see these everywhere, whatever, and they'll put a different logo there because they can't use our logo, so they'll put some Chinese name of whatever. And they rip off all the other packaging, right? We bought some of these products to see what is going on here. What's in here? It is Lubriderm lotion. I'm not joking. They're just putting lotion in an imitation package of ours and sending it out. It's sad. And, they're running ads, using my videos and stuff. It's just what happens when you make a good product. People will rip it off. Now, it's not hard to not get scammed by this. You go on Amazon, you make sure the seller is Santa Cruz Paleo, and you buy it. Or you go on our website, santacruzpaleo.com, and you buy it. If you're seeing some ad for some, weird thing, buy 3, get 1 free, some weird shit that's not us, it's probably not us, bro. So don't get scammed, but we understand this product is just one of the best. And with that, I just want to speak on beef tallow skincare a little bit. We make some of the best, most affordable beef tallow skincare products ever. With that, a lot of people are just jumping in this beef tallow skincare game, okay? They're seeing it as something they can profit off of. They're seeing it as something that, whatever, they just want to make money. They're selling stuff not as high quality as this. They're just putting beef tallow in a jar, maybe cutting it with some olive oil or coconut oil, and they're selling it for $40 or $50. That's not good. There's whipped tallow, which is tallow and air. I don't think whipped tallow is bad. I've used it as a body moisturizer, but if you're going to be selling whipped tallow at $40 or $50, that's tallow and air. So you got to think about if a 2-ounce face moisturizer is going to be $18, what should a 2-ounce whipped tallow be? Probably $9. That would be my estimation for that. Maybe we'll do a whipped tallow in the future at $9 for 2 ounce. So yeah, that's just what happens, guys. And the most common thing that people are doing is putting a bunch of olive oil and coconut oil into their tallow products. Not against those oils, but they are cheaper than beef tallow. So when you cut your tallow with those, and that's just a way to extend your product, okay? It's gonna happen. I would just be aware of that if I were you guys. Use any brand you want. Find a good brand that you like. But ours is the best, and that's just how it is. People try to rip it off. The prickly pear electrolytes are insane. We have some new flavors of whey that we're working on. We got dog treats, the digestive enzymes, dude. The digestive enzymes are absolutely amazing. how you want to use digestive enzymes is you want to take them before your largest meal. If you're dealing with any leaky gut issues, maybe some skin issues, I would strongly recommend taking one before each meal, so 3 per day. And if you travel, I would definitely up your digestive enzyme content. The ingredients in our digestive enzymes help you break down protein, fats, and carbs. They're really good for anybody with food sensitivities. So maybe like if you're going out to eat at a restaurant, I'm going out to eat at a restaurant tonight, actually. I will have 2 of those enzymes in my pocket. Everyone that knows me at this house knows, like when I'm about to eat, I pull out my enzymes. The reason is, especially if you're eating out at a restaurant, this is going to help you digest some of that food. It's going to help you not have those flare-ups and food sensitivities because you are enhancing your digestive process. Okay, so it's just one of the best supplements ever, and we made the best digestive enzyme formula ever. Basically, we looked into a company that made a really good formula, and then we just made it better. And we added stuff like ginger, actual papaya. It's called papain. It's an extract from papaya that helps you digest protein. That's why traditional cultures, like island cultures, always eat like that pineapple and papaya with meat. Like Hawaiian culture, it's commonly paired with meat. Now, why is that? Because people always knew there's enzymes in papaya and pineapple that help break down protein, help your body digest. So really interesting stuff. Ginger has obviously been used forever for digestion, and now there's studies to support that. It's amazing, dude. A little bit of the lactase enzyme in there to help you digest some dairy if you have a little bit of dairy sensitivity. So go get the digestive enzymes. And yeah, we've just been cranking through. The surf is now getting cold, meaning the water is getting colder, but the waves are getting better. So we've been out there surfing, doing the damn thing. So we've just been rocking, man. And one thing I did launch recently is basically a free community is what I call it. So it's $3, but you're going to get 20% off Santa Cruz Paleo on larger orders. And it's amazing, dude. There's so much cool stuff going on in there. We have people coming in there like Benji Silva, MMA and Jiu-Jitsu black belt, MMA professional, Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And he's going to tell people how to get into Jiu-Jitsu. We have our buddy Tanner Waite, who's a pro big wave surfer, doing a breath course. It's really cool, man. I saw everybody doing these communities for a bunch of money, like $40, $50. And everybody was like, start one, I want it. And I'm like, no, I'll basically make it free. So yeah, that's what it is. Super stoked on that. So you guys have been leaving your questions below in the last AMA. We're going to dive into your questions. Let's get into it. Let's go. Brandon, what are your thoughts on the fitness wearables? So there's Whoop, there's Apple Watch, there's the Oura Ring, there's Garmin, there's so many of these. Overall, I would say I am a fan of them. Now, I have an Oura Ring, and I don't really wear it when I'm just out and about chilling. I do wear it when I go to sleep. I do like the sleep score that it gives me. It gives me some data there. However, you can't be beholden to these things because, one, they are not perfectly accurate. And how they're getting these scores is just sort of like there's a lot of AI guesswork in here, right? So what I noticed with my Oura Ring is that if I go to sleep later, but I still get really good sleep, it'll still like knock down my score a little bit. And it says the timing. Oh, and I think this is basically the Oura Ring algorithm saying, hey, this dude usually goes to sleep at like 11. He went to sleep at midnight this night. Probably wasn't a good night of sleep because of that. We're going to knock the score down a little bit. I don't think it's like as accurate data as you guys are thinking. If you really got into the depths of these companies, what are they doing to give you these scores? Readiness score, sleep score. So I like the, general data on HRV. I like the general data, and like some of these fitness wearables, you wear them on a run, you can see your heart rate. I think all that's great. So I have nothing against that, but I do have something against when people get way too stuck to these, bro, of like, oh, my Oura Ring said I can't push it hard today. Bro, just do it. Just do it, bro. Okay. I'm not saying to overtrain 7 days a week and this and that, but like, just go, just do it. If you feel good, do it. Trust your body more than these things. But yeah, I'm a fan of them. Do you guys use them? Let me know. Brandon, I want to supplement L-carnitine and L-citrulline. How can I keep a balance other than just taking L-lysine? So as we know in the body, there's this L-arginine, L-lysine balance, basically. There's many things like this in the body. There's a zinc-copper balance. There's a potassium-magnesium balance. There's a sodium-potassium balance. The body likes balance, which is not to plug them, but I'm going to plug them. One of the reasons why I like taking electrolytes is because your body appears to be fighting to achieve an electrolyte balance. Okay, that's like what the body wants. If you just took 9 grams of just sodium, your body would try to sort of excrete some of that to find balance. If I just took a bunch of potassium, like people drinking Prime and shit, there's so much potassium in there. Potassium's not bad, but you're just chugging potassium. Okay, your body's going to try to figure out a balance. Maybe it's going to halt the excretion of sodium. So having like something that's already going to balance you is a good idea. And so this dude's talking about the L-citrulline, L-lysine balance. Basically, there's this arginine-lysine balance. Arginine converts citrulline. So Anyway, you should probably take a little bit of L-lysine if you're going to go like wild with the citrulline. I find if I'm taking about 6 grams of L-citrulline per day, which is in our natural pre-workout, I don't need to bounce out with L-lysine supplementation. I can just eat lysine-rich foods like berries, which I do eat. Okay. Now, if I was going to go maybe do an experiment or whatever the hell you're doing, where you're going to take like 10, 15 grams of L-citrulline, I would take some lysine. You don't need to take as much. I could get into the depths of like, the actual bounce and stuff. I'm sure I could do like an in-depth post on that. It'd be kind of boring for people. I would say you should probably take about 2 grams of L-lysine at night if you're going to do like intense amounts of L-citrulline. So try that out. But yeah, there's a balance of that. Brendan, you should make a cookies and cream protein powder. Now, so many people will tell us, oh, you should do this flavor, this flavor. We have the strawberry chocolate vanilla. Those are going off right now. And then we're going to relaunch the 3-pound options in bags for the mint chip, butter pecan. And then it's like, how do you make these flavors natural? Well, cookies and cream is actually a pretty cool one. First of all, I'll just tell you about the obvious one that we just did, peanut butter cup. That's pretty obvious. We got some organic peanut powder and, we do some chocolate in there and makes that peanut butter cup flavor. That one's fire. It's amazing. It's so good. I can't wait for it to launch. But cookies and cream might actually be something we can do because you get a little bit of that vanilla flavor. You maybe get some cacao flavor, and then you add some sweetness to there. That vanilla with that chocolate can sort of make that cookies and cream flavor. So we might try to do that. We will work on that. If there's any other good whey flavor ideas that you guys want to see, let me know. The flavor definitely works better with whey than beef isolate. But that said, there are some flavors that work better with beef iso than whey. But the strawberry vanilla chocolate, if you guys have tried them, they're absolutely amazing. We're working on some others for sure, but let me know if you'd like to see that or what other flavors you'd want to see below. Brendan, what do you think about the starch-based diet or the McDougall diet? So there was this guy, James McDougall, and he basically made this diet, which was a plant-based diet, very high in starches. Now, it was only unprocessed food, so I got to give him 1 point there. But no, I'm not a fan of this diet. He was saying protein causes kidney issues, protein causes all these issues. That is not true. That has been debunked. And why don't we take a look at this guy right here? Let's pull up this guy right here. Okay, he doesn't look great. Okay, actually, right here, can you pull up Mark Sisson right here? Mark Sisson is a dude who's been eating the paleo diet. He's 70 years old. Okay, like. This stuff just shows in your body, okay? Like, look at me. I'm jacked, bro. I eat this way. I've never taken any performance-enhancing drug. I just lift weights and eat good food. When you eat protein, your body helps your body put on muscle. This is so well established, it's insane. But yet people want to do this dumb shit. No, don't do that diet. Brendan, is microwaving eggs okay? So we've talked about microwaves before. I do not think microwaves are bad. And I know this goes against like a lot of the holistic health community, which I'm sort of 1 foot in, I'd say. But like there is no evidence whatsoever that microwaves are bad. If you've heard that they denature proteins, cooking food in any way, shape, or form denatures proteins. When you digest food and it moves through your ileum, you are denaturing proteins, okay? Like your stomach acid is going to denature those proteins. So no, microwaves aren't bad. If people go, oh, it reduces the nutrient content. Any form of cooking will reduce certain B vitamins, but it also deactivates some plant defense chemicals and other stuff that we don't want. So cook your food. It's totally fine. So microwaves aren't bad, but here's where it can be an issue with eggs. It has been shown that the egg yolk actually retains way more nutrition with some of those fragile fatty acids when it is slightly liquid, okay? Now, I'm not against like a soft scramble because that's at lower temps, but if you're like nuking your eggs like a lot, it could oxidize some of the fats in that fragile egg yolk. So I'm a big fan of like a poached egg, a sunny side up egg, maybe a soft scramble if you're not cooking it, at too high of heat. But if you're like really overcooking them, yeah, that could damage the fats in the egg yolk and reduce some of the nutrition there. But if you're not, if the egg yolk's still a little bit liquidy, it can be like just kind of soft, totally fine. Brendan, I'm a pilot, so I cannot go to sleep and wake up at the same time every week. His schedule's all over the place. Brendan, what are some things that you would do to mitigate this? Totally. I think like having an altered sleep schedule is sort of common these days. Maybe it's just school, maybe it's work. Your schedule's all over the place. What do you do? Well, the first thing you need to do is have this nighttime routine and basically convince your body it's time to get tired, get sleepy, and go to bed. So let's say one day you got to wake up hell early. You got to be up at 4 or 5 a.m. Okay, well, you're going to try to get to bed early. You're going to try to get to bed at around that 8 p.m., maybe 9 p.m. So what I'm going to do is at 7, I'm going to cut off as much light as I can in the house. I use these little red light night lights in my house. I have an actual red light device. That's really going to be what I'm going for. Like I avoid light like crazy in the evening. So you're going to start to do that at around 7. You're going to take some magnesium. I take our deep sleep caps. I take some ashwagandha. These are all herbs that are going to tell me that it's nighttime. Like they're relaxing herbs. Lemon balm, passion flower, valerian. All these things appear to have a very relaxing effect on the body. So I'm going to get good sleep. And then when I wake up, the most important thing is I'm going to get light in my eyes. This is where I'm not afraid of blue light. So you can even use, like I have these ring lights in front of me. You can even get in front of one of those. Now you could buy something like more like a higher end, like a sun lamp or something like that, or just go outside if the sun is up at that time. But you are going to get light into your eyes. I would recommend doing a shower with that cold water finish to sort of get some of those, neurotransmitters fired up, your adrenaline, your norepinephrine. It's going to tell your body it's daytime, okay? Then you're going to go throughout your day. And then maybe that next night, you don't have to be up till, 8 a.m. You can stay up a little later. I wouldn't stay up and max it out. So what I would do is I would actually go to bed at like 11 p.m. and then wake up a little bit earlier. You don't have to always max it out. You can try to find your own semi-normal schedule within that. So I hope that helps. You can try the glasses too. Orange tinted glasses can help limit blue light if you have to be on your computer or phone in the evening. That can actually help. So those are some things that I would try. Brendan, I love your recipe videos, but a lot of them get cut off on shorts because, YouTube Shorts allows 1 minute and he doesn't have a TikTok. Go on Instagram, bro. There are posts on Instagram and you can like look at Instagram posts without even having an account often if you're a little savvy. So yeah, that's what you're gonna have to do. We're not gonna post like the full 3-minute videos just on YouTube. It doesn't make any sense to do. So yeah, you can go find them if you want. But bro, my recipes have been crushing lately, so I highly suggest that you do because they're amazing. But the thing I try to do with my recipes, guys, is give you guys recipes that you'll actually be able to do. There's so many people doing these complicated ass recipes and it's like, oh, cool. You made like a very complex dish. Okay. Like that's dope. Like I like watching it sometimes too, but like what is actually useful is, hey, how can I take ground beef, rice, and veggies and some ingredients that I have in my kitchen and make it into a hella good dish that's going to be delicious? That's what I do. Brendan, what is your favorite NAC brand? Should I take NAC? Let's dive into N-acetylcysteine right now. So N-acetylcysteine is an amazing supplement that I take in about 500 milligrams per day, sometimes up to 1,000 milligrams per day. It's going to help boost that production of glutathione in the liver. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. I first really got into NAC when Dr. Justin told me on how he's basically done studies on himself and he's had a lot of patients. He sees so much lab work. And when he gives somebody NAC, their testosterone goes up. Why is this? Well, he thinks it's from the detoxification pathways of some of these xenoestrogens, which we're all exposed to. Your colognes, your, whatever it is, your formaldehydes, your phthalates, you're inhaling this shit. You drink out of plastic sometimes. It is what it is. He thinks that this helps with some of these pathways, and there are PubMed papers to help support that. NAC is commonly marketed to help with lung health, so it got really popular during that pandemic that happened. So like they're like, oh, like NAC, lung health, but it really helps so many systems in the body. It helps with brain fog. I'm a huge fan of NAC. I take 1,000 milligrams when I travel and I take 500 milligrams most days. I like to stack it with something called alpha-lipoic acid, which also helps your liver health. I feel like our liver is just kind of under siege with all the, shit that's, I got in an Uber a few days ago. There was like a fucking air freshener in there. I was pissed, but it is what it is. I'm going to take some compounds that can help protect me against just the normal rigors of life. I'm going to a baseball game, bro. There's going to be people smoking cigarettes on the way there, all types of shit. So NAC plus ALA is something I take. For brands, you could look like towards pure encapsulation, but I will say we are working on one for Santa Cruz Paleo. I haven't seen anybody combine N-acetylcysteine with alpha-lipoic acid into one supplement. You have to buy them separately. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's a supplement I would definitely recommend everyone take. Our brand or another brand, take it. Brendan, what do you think about only eating raw food, never cooking it, even meats? Well, I just finished up a great book called Catching Fire by Richard Wrangham, who's a Harvard anthropologist. And his theory basically is that human beings basically started using fire way before the time that most anthropologists said that we started to use fire. And he thinks we domesticated fire, which means, you're able to start fire. Like fire was on Earth all the time, but like we didn't know how to utilize it. We are the only animal that actually uses fire for protection, for cooking. We are the only animal that does that. He thinks this helped double our brain size in the period that we see in anthropology that's largely unexplained. So he thinks that basically Homo erectus, so Homo erectus was before us, actually started to use fire to cook, and he cites all this evidence, and it's amazing. Fire is amazing. cooking food provides so many benefits. In that very same book, he goes over various, pretty much all, it's a lengthy ass book. He goes over almost all good studies on raw food diets and explains why they are not good. And you see clear evidence in these studies when people eat raw food, it doesn't work out well for them, okay? It doesn't. So, while raw food on its surface might have a little bit more nutrition, our body does not digest it as well. So, cooking can actually help protein become more bioavailable. It can help reduce plant defense chemicals. You've heard Saladino talk about the plant defense chemicals. Well, yeah, you can't eat a potato raw, but when you cook a potato, it becomes a super nutrient dense food that benefits your gut health, is rich in potassium. So, human beings, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, before we were Homo sapiens, found out how to cook food. There's this crazy cool anthropological evidence of like these ovens, basically. Like, there would be like an anthropological site with like 6 ovens, basically. That's what they were. Like, they would call them like, cooking pots and stuff. People would basically make fires, bury food in there, like bury potatoes, bury like, meat and bring it out like really slow cooked. It's absolutely amazing, dude. Like, you should be cooking your food. It's probably what helped our brain develop more because our gut was able to get smaller. When you look at animals that have very large guts, very acidic guts that can eat some raw food, chimpanzees, for example, can eat raw food. They do not cook their food. Their gut is way different than ours, okay? We are not chimpanzees. We are human. We're Homo sapiens. And a big reason that this guy says we are the way we are is because we cook our food. So, don't eat raw diet, bro. Brennan, I'm full-time job and I'm in college. What are some drinks I can consume in the evening that'll help me stay focused without disturbing my sleep? Well, you need to just get rid of all that caffeinated shit. If you're consuming caffeine in the evening, you're going to feel good for the 30 minutes, 1 hour after you consume that, but then it's going to damage your sleep. So then when you try to go get REM sleep and deep sleep, it's going to be impaired. Even if you're able to fall asleep, it's still going to be impaired. There's studies on that. So your testosterone slowly over time is going to drop if you're consuming caffeine in the evening. And then you won't really notice it, but what will happen is you'll wake up, and this is if you're doing pre-workout too in the evening that has caffeine in it, use an uncaffeinated option. You'll wake up in like 3-4 months and you'll be like, I feel sluggish. I've hit a wall. I've plateaued. You know what I mean? Your dick's not getting hard, whatever it is. Like, your like testosterone's just in the tank. Okay. So don't do that. Just don't even get into that. What I would consider consuming is a nootropic that is herbal based that doesn't have caffeine. There's ingredients like alpha GPC. There are ingredients like bacopa. There are ingredients like lion's mane that you could, take, and that's going to help you with your focus, and they're not going to be very stimulating. L-theanine is a good one that's actually going to be relaxing, but for a lot of people, they get distracted and, unfocused because they're kind of like hyped up. So L-theanine is a great one for those people. I would just be drinking water with electrolytes and coconut water. There's not some like magical drink that's going to help you focus. Take a little bit of lion's mane or something like that. Maybe some bacopa with some water or coconut water. That'll help you dial in for sure. Brendan, what is your opinion on galaxy gas? Everyone's doing the galaxy gas, bro. Oh my God. Okay. Listen, back in my day, people were doing nitrous oxide. It's been around. This isn't a new thing. This is just a new way to package this, and this is way worse. Why this is way worse is there's like 50,000 doses in there or something. It's horrible. So you can like just overdose on this stuff. Listen, we know this stuff just cooks your brain, okay? We did a post on this talking about how Vexpulse was doing this, but we actually went into some of the science of what it can do for your body. We look at B vitamin depletion there, like almost instantly, like it just kind of cooks your body in multiple ways. Neurotransmitter depletion, it's really, really bad for you. There hasn't been any like long-term really good studies on this stuff, but it is so obvious that it just cooks your neurotransmitters, depletes your body of multiple vitamins. It is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. If you really want to know about this, you can look up what happened to Steve-O. He got addicted to these things for a little bit. That dude's never been the same, okay? Like, that, it messed him up. And he said it was one of the things that messed him up the most out of all the shit that he's done. So if you're doing galaxy gas, bro, you need to find a Bible, go lift some weights, and quit that shit. It's disgusting. And I think the owners, the people that make that shit should... How could you ever sleep at night? You know what kids are doing with this. They're not making whipped cream. They're not making 50,000 batches of whipped cream. Shame on you. So, yeah, Galaxy gas, man, don't use that shit. Brennan, my digestion is horrible. How do I fix it? He's just dealing with tons of digestive issues. What can he do? Well, it really depends on what's going on, but I'm just going to give you a breakdown of what you can do if you're starting from zero and you're like, I feel like I need to improve my whole digestive health. One, take a digestive enzyme before each meal. You can try ours, you can try a different brand. I don't really care which brand you try. Just find a good enzyme that has some pepsin, has some, ginger, has some papaya, has some lactase, has some protease, stuff like that. And you're going to take one before each meal. You're going to start there. I would also recommend taking some glutamine in the morning, maybe having some bone broth in the morning. This is going to help that gut barrier function right there. If you're dealing with stuff like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, you might want to do like a cycle of oregano oil. Now, the higher end stuff of this is you should do a GI map test from a doctor, from an actual functional medicine doctor, and figure out what's going on. But in general, you just want to start to support your gut barrier. Stuff like marshmallow root is great. Stuff like ginger root is great. You want to do that. You also need to start to eliminate some of these foods that are known to damage your gut. If you're drinking alcohol, you need to kick that to the can. You need to not do that. If you're eating a bunch of grain, I would just shelf that for 30 days, bro. Just do no bread, no grain for 30 days. I'm not against grains. I just ate some rice with some beef. Rice is a grain. I ate some sourdough bread not too long ago. Like, I'm not against them, but for 30 days, go without them. You want to have a bunch of gut-nourishing foods. What does this mean? Foods that are rich in collagen, gelatin. Our beef isolate protein is very rich in collagen and gelatin. Bone broth is super rich in glycine and other stuff that's going to help support your gut function. You can have stews. You can have chicken soup, stuff like that. If you do that for like 30 days, you're going to find that you have way better gut health. And it's just like how you can reset your gut. And then once your gut barrier function is really dialed in, then you're at the point where I'm at now, where like my gut's pretty like durable, bro. I don't feel like it's so sensitive. So I just need some digestive enzymes to eat the right foods, and I'm dialed in. Brendan, how can we breathe better? Okay, I'm gonna give you some stuff right now that you might use for the rest of your life. All right, so the first thing is when we lengthen our exhale is bigger than our inhale. This starts to slow our heart rate down. So if you're having anxiety, you're having stress, bro, this can happen before a test. Okay, you got a date with a girl, you're out front of her house, you're a little anxious, you start to feel yourself get like warm, your heart rate's just speeding up. And this is normal. This is from, cortisol, whatever's going on. You can slow your heart rate down by inhaling a little bit and exhaling longer than your inhale. So and so on. So you're going to lengthen that exhale more than your inhale. And you're going to start to then do box breathing. So I like to do, like sometimes I'll paddle out surfing, bro. And it's like a long paddle out and I'm like, whoa. And it's like kind of like rocks you a little bit. I like to start to lengthen my exhale to slow my heart rate down. And then I go into box breathing. What is box breathing? You're going to inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then inhale. You get it, like a box. You're holding your breath. And sometimes the first few reps of this are hard, but just learn to control your breath. That's really going to help. Now, on the other side of things, when you're doing hard exercise, the Gracies did this, or a famous jiu-jitsu family, if you don't know, and you'll still hear high-level jiu-jitsu athletes do this during their competitions. If you feel like you are gassed during a workout, exhale hard. You'll hear the Gracies, like whatever, at a jiu-jitsu tournament, you'll hear people go like that. Why they're doing that is because they're getting out that old air, if you want to consider it, like you just want to like simplify it. And then that tells your body to inhale. This can really help your cardio, and it's something I do. To actually hype yourself up, you can do basically this Wim Hof style breathing, which is where you breathe in deep and you're letting a little bit of air out. You're over oxygenating your blood, okay? So, do this with a doctor or whatever I'm supposed to say for YouTube, like, whatever, But like, you inhale hard and then you just exhale a little bit, and people will do like 20, 30, times doing this, and then you big exhale and then you hold your breath, and that's Wim Hof. You can look up how to do Wim Hof, but it's like do that 30, 40 times. You'll definitely feel something. Breathwork's insane. It's amazing. And you should definitely try it. But I feel like the relaxing one is what most people need. Try it out. Brendan, should you pop your pimples, and how do you treat scars, like acne scars? The simple answer is no, you shouldn't pop your pimples. Ask any esthetician or somebody that works with skin. They're going to tell you to not do this, okay? What you kind of would want to do, we asked an esthetician, is something called a hot compress. You can get a very clean washcloth with hot water, and maybe even put a little bit of, some skincare product on there of some sort. I would just do hot water, and then you put that on that pimple for a little bit with a little bit of pressure, okay? You're going to want to do this at night because it might make your skin a little bit red, but that can help a lot. And then other spot treatment, we look at vitamin E, we look at aloe, we look at manuka honey or raw honey in general. That's really good stuff for like an overnight spot treatment. People will crush up aspirin sometimes, which aspirin is white willow bark. So aspirin is actually derived from something completely natural. They just basically patented it and now it's called aspirin. It's white willow bark. So you can just buy white willow bark powder, make it into a little paste, put it on some type of pimple you have overnight, and you'll wake up the next morning and it'll probably be significantly less. So no, you shouldn't be attacking these things and popping them. Yeah, that's in general what you'd want to do. Brendan, what is your take on red meat increasing levels of creatinine? So talking to my functional medicine doctor, creatinine is not really a concern if it's slightly elevated. Let me tell you why. Creatinine is a natural byproduct of muscle metabolism. So in people that are working out a lot and actually basically just cranking through energy, lifting weights, stuff like that, your creatinine levels might be elevated. However, this is not a cause for concern. Obviously, talk with your doctor and all that good stuff. But when I talk to my functional medicine doctor, that is not something he is concerned about, especially in people who are involved in sports, weightlifting. It's not a concern. So take your 5 grams of creatine per day. And if you're lifting weights and doing that stuff, it might not be something that you want to worry so much about. All right, guys, that is it for this week's episode, the AMA. Leave your questions below because I'll get into them next week, and go get some goodies. SantaCruzPaleo.com or Santa Cruz Paleo on Amazon. Yeah, we have hella dope stuff out right now. Get some protein, get some electrolytes, some beef tallow products. We have the beef tallow chapstick, absolutely amazing, really good gift too. So yeah, I hope you guys are stoked. Staying locked in. If you want to be on locked in, just make your case below in the comments. I'm going to try to get some people out here that are actually locked in because the last fans were disappointing. Go watch that episode. Let me know your thoughts. Let's go. Peace.